Hello. For the IMP Part 2, some important concepts are the SWOT analysis that contains the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats. For our company, one strength could be that we export qualified coffee, and one weakness is the lack of payment to suppliers. One opportunity could be to expand coffee markets to small towns in Canada, and our threat could be that other Colombians will also want to export coffee to the same place as us. Um, Another important concept for this part is the competition. We think that one competition could be that the other shops bring also Colombian coffee, and the CAC, which is the Coffee Association of Canada, will have other competitions that also have coffee, Colombian coffee, like Starbucks, um, and shops like that. We chose our for the brand or logo. We chose for it to be Ralma coffee, which is the composition of our three names, which is Rafael, Alejandra, and Manuela. In this logo, we also chose to put the coffee like it was our raw material that we needed, and the sun in the back, which meant that the a factor that the coffee needed was the sun. Okay, now we're going to talk about the four P's, which are place, price, promotion, and product. The very first one is the product. Our product is the grounded coffee. This comes from uh, farms in Nariño, Norte Santander, in Antioquia, in the territory of Colombia, which is where they process the coffee bean. Those places, the people that they work with, process the coffee bean so it becomes grounded coffee, which is what we're going to take to Canada. Um, the next one is the place. This one for us can be divided in two. Um, where the coffee is made, which what we already said in Norte Santander, Nariño, and Antioquia, and many more. And the other one is where we're gonna take the grounded coffee, which is the main cities of Canada like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. For the promotion, we think that it's a good idea um, that the people already know what the coffee is and that the Colombian coffee is well known. We think um, that the Ralmas coffee will not handle the consumer or the client face to face, so it's going to be B2B, which is business to business. Um, and like we said, we're not going to talk to any clients, like the final clients, so we're going to handle everything from mail or a web page. So we think that there's not going to be like any advertising for the last consumer. So our like advertising will be like with the federations of coffee from Colombia and Canada, and we also is going to be voice to voice, like different shops talking to different shops, talking about what they like about us and everything like that. So we think it's going to be like that. For the okay, for the last one, it's the price. We think that the price depends really on how much the buyer is going to want to buy and the cost of how the coffee is measured here in Colombia. Um, the coffee value here in Colombia really depends on how they how they evaluate it, which is with the price of the US dollar. Um, we think that we can't we can't have the buyer only export small amounts, because how we're going to take it, which is by big ships, it will cost a lot if we just take small amounts. So the minimum that the buyer could take buy is 15 lumps of coffee, which are the lumps are the juta bags that we have to take the coffee in. And how in the ships our minimum to take to export is 300 juta bags, and so that's how we can't just let the buyers have like little amounts of inventory, so they have to buy a lot. Like we said, the coffee is valuated by the has a price here in Colombia, and right now the coffee in Colombia costs 1.18 US dollars. Each bag, well, each lump of coffee contains 70 kilograms, and for each coffee, for each cup of coffee, and the employee or the person who's going to make it needs 10 grams. So, and also that one important thing is the Canada dollar, how it's measured here, and right now the Canada dollar is 2,198. So we did like a little investigation. So if and like we investigated how much one lump of coffee of a one juta bag could cost. Well, how much it will cost in dollar in pesos colombianos, and it will cost 38,904, and in Canada dollars it will cost 1770. So, and how we said before, the minimum that they can take are 15 lumps. Well, if you multiply it with 15 lumps and what the Canada dollar is right now, that will be 2,000, no, 265,000, no. Okay, so like we said, there was only 15, they could take minimum 15 lumps. Well, we did a multiplication, and we also like we had to take in account of what the Canada dollar is today. If they take the minimum juta bags, it will cost 275 Canada dollars, and every lump of coffee addition to that will cost $20 in Canada dollars. So that's how we're going to do our price of the coffee.